Amber.
They saw my tum-tum!
The moon landing didn't happen.
Are you actually gonna wear that?
Okay, fine. You're the queen of lolcows. Well done, you.
Did she spray Pam on the food?
That ass, though.
You're lolcows. That's what you guys do.
Okay. Oh, this is crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy.
Hey folks, what's good? I'm Professor Dietz, and today I've got a lesson in manipulation for you. We are going to be discussing, you guessed it, the events that shook Gorlworld this past weekend. I don't know, it has been wild, disturbing, and yes, I'll say it has been unhinged. So this video, it's going to be a little bit more of a serious one, but I do think it's important, and I hope you will stick around and give it a watch. Because the one thing that really stood out to me over the weekend was the fact that we were watching DARVO play out in real time. So what we're going to do today is we're going to look at the first 3 live streams that Amber did. There were before and after Mr. Snowflake's expose with Emily. And we're going to look at them from that very specific perspective. So what we're going to look at are just the clips that I thought embodied DARVO, right? They really express and exemplify what that tactic is.
We can all just have an unhinged party together.
I pulled out everything else and compiled these into the 3 steps, so hopefully by the end of it, we're definitely going to have a full understanding of what to look out for. Because, you know, Amber might not do a whole lot day in and day out.
I'm never bored. That's one thing I am. Never bored.
One thing that she is good at is providing very clear examples of manipulation. But before we dig into this particular set of events, I do want to offer a trigger warning, for psychological manipulation. And if you'd rather not hear about this topic, I get it. And I do suggest skipping this one because that's all we're going to talk about. And I will look forward to seeing you in the next video. I also want to make it clear that I am not a mental health professional, and this video is not meant to stand in for one. I'm just a YouTuber who happens to find it fascinating to discuss toxic personalities and behaviors and shedding a light on that subject. By the end of this video, I do think you'll probably have a very good understanding of what DARVO is and what to look out for in the future. I also want to be clear that just because this video is going to be focused on Amber and her behavior, it absolutely doesn't mean that I'm Team Emily.
I'm on Team Emily.
I actually think that we've been watching the relationship of 2 toxic people play out in front of us. And today, we just so happen to be focusing on one side of this very troubling equation. So, let's get started. The thing about this particular manipulation tactic is that it's very easy to get caught up in the intense emotion of it all. If the person is skilled enough, they can deflect attention from themselves and throw it right onto their victim. And it leaves them confused and even maybe convinced that they were entirely wrong to begin with. All right, so let's dig into what DARVO actually is.
So, what is DARVO?
DARVO is a manipulative tactic that's used in order to evade responsibility for your actions, right? It stands for deny, attack, reverse victim, and offender. It describes a behavioral pattern that some people might use, if they are being held accountable for bad behavior or doing something specific that was entirely problematic. So what this tactic involves is denying the wrongdoing, then attacking the accuser, and then somehow completely reversing the roles of who is the victim and who is the offender. It's very frequently observed in situations involving abuse, but also harassment and really many different types of interpersonal conflict. It can be seen in different types of relationships as well, be it romantic, platonic, or even in the workplace. But the person who has been controlling or manipulative is always going to follow these same steps. They're going to deny their actions, call the other person crazy or overly dramatic, and then claim that they are the one that is being abused or controlled. Sound familiar? I'm sure it does, because that's exactly what we watched happen this weekend. It is one of Amber's favorite tactics. We've seen her use it on literally every single one of her partners, both during and after the relationship ended. Now it's time to watch Amber in action, so deep breaths, everybody. This is going to be very difficult to watch because I have taken out all the fluff and compiled only the clips that exemplify each of the phases. It wasn't fun making it, and it's not going to be fun watching it, but I do think it's important to do so. Now, don't worry, Mini Waffles will be on the other side to meet us, and because I knew that, this was going to be a really tough one, I made an extra special pre-recorded Corgi Cam palette cleanser today. So be sure to stick around for that lovely decompression with Mini Waffles. Now, let's watch these clips. The deny phase, I think, is probably one of the easiest ones to be able to understand, right? It's basically just where the individual denies any involvement in whatever wrongdoing they're being accused of, whether it's a specific action or a more general behavior.
You make no sense. That never happened. I don't even know what that means.
Deny can also just be, maybe they're just trying to minimize the impact of that behavior or event.
Stop exaggerating.
So that can either look like, A, I never yelled at you. That's a lie. Or, I may have raised my voice, but it's not that big a deal.
Hold on. If I did anything that didn't involve her directly, she would start an argument. Not true. She would always accuse me of not loving her, and and how terrible of a girlfriend I was. I never said you were a terrible girlfriend. She wanted me to call out of work anytime she was having a crisis. Or just felt like she wanted me to stay at home. Fucking lie. Fucking lie. Fucking lie. Oh my God. No, I never destroyed her ex's photo. That was the first time she got physical with me. She threw things at me. I never threw a fucking thing at you, girl. I'm not fucking physically abusive. I was with Beck for fucking 5 years. Never threw anything at them. Never hit them. Nothing. I'm not fucking abusive. As I sit here and I'm like trying to pound it down to my own hand. How can you draw blood with no marks? How the fuck can you draw blood with no marks, Emily? Say it like it is. Stop exaggerating. Say it like it is. Say it like it fucking is. Say it like it is. Because that's the truth. That is what is founded in reality. That is the truth. I've never denied a single thing that I've actually done. I have denied the things that I have not done that you have lied about. The tantrum slowly escalated each time. I started with her just shouting at me to escalating to her slamming doors and punching walls. That never fucking happened. I never punched a wall. She apologized profusely when she knew she couldn't gaslight me into believing it didn't happen. Because it didn't. There was no fucking blood. What a liar. Oh my God, that is the most unhinged thing I've ever seen. Amberlynn's one job was to call the shelter and make a report. She's such a fucking liar. She saw me scrolling through my phone and there was this woman on my Instagram feed. She flipped out and said I was micro cheating. The argument escalated really fast. She fucking lied. If I did anything that didn't involve her directly, she would start an argument. Not true. And then he goes, I'm probably remembering wrong, but I'm sure Amber said she was on FaceTime with you when she was in a store with her mom. What? When you ended it? How did you end it and how did she take it? You make no sense. That never happened. I don't even know what that means. Within the first hour of the drive, she was screaming at me so much that Twinkie freaked out and jumped under my feet of the driver's side floor. That didn't happen. I was driving on the highway and I had to pull over because she won't come out. What the fuck? That never happened. Okay, she would gaslight, deflect, just typical narcissistic behavior. We both know I'm not a narcissist.
And when we get to the attack phase, that's when things start getting a little bit more complicated, right? This is basically when an individual will attack the accuser's credibility or their motives or just their character overall.
You're insane.
You know, they might say something like, you're just trying to make me look bad. Or something that Amber says quite often, you know, you're crazy. You're mentally unstable.
I know you're a fucking shit person. The shittiest person I've ever known in my fucking life. The behaviors that you demonstrate, whether that be publicly or behind closed doors, shows textbook narcissist behavior. And it scares me. You scare me. She is trying to get a situation to look like something that it wasn't. And that scared me. And guess what? You both are dancing with the devil. You're both the fucking devils. You're both devils. Emily is crazy.
I think she's a narcissist.
That's what she said to me.
I've never said that about anyone in my life. But something is just not adding up. And I tried so hard to love her through it all.
That's crazy. That's crazy. That's sad. That's sad. That's the type of shit that I had to deal with. She's stonewalling. She don't give a fuck. Like, she doesn't care. She did all these bad things. She does not give a fuck at all. You became terrible. You became terrible. You became very terrible. This is not normal behavior. You're insane. Cool. Emily, there are two sides to you. There's the Emily that I genuinely fell in love with. I don't even know if that's real, actually. I don't know what's real anymore. And then there's, like, the side of you that is, like, so... It's scary. I don't know the word for it, but it's black and white. It is, like, night and day. Like, genuinely. Because she's insane. That's the shit that I had to deal with. She does this thing where she either disassociates, where she literally is, like, checked out completely. The flat out lies is what's really fucking scary to me.
Now, the last step in DARVO is the last three letters, R, V, and O. It's really one step, and it stands for reverse, victim, and offender. In this step, the individual is going to flip the narrative, right? So they're going to portray themselves as the victim and basically just shift all of the blame of whatever's been happening onto the accuser themselves.
That is literally you to a T.
You know, they might say something like, you're the one who's always trying to control me.
She was so fucking awful to me.
You called me names. I was just angry because you're horrible to me. That's what it means to reverse the victim and offender. You're flipping the script. You're changing the narrative.
Oh, this is crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy. She would wake up and rage out of nowhere. Out of genuinely nowhere. And you have hurt me so bad that I'm here in front of so many people showing a side of me that only comes out when I am wronged so many times. You have lied and lied and lied. You have fat shamed me. You have made me feel guilty for wanting to lose weight. You have cheated on me. You have made me feel like shit. You have used your late fiance as a weapon. You have literally talked to an ex behind my back, hid those notifications from me. And then when I found out, I was fucking distraught. I have been destroyed over and over and over again because of you. And I have had to take the heat because of you repeatedly. Over and over and over.
She would do all of these fucking things behind my back. Imagine how she treated me behind closed doors. Just imagine.
You were rude to me the whole morning. Awful.
She would constantly tell me that she was gonna sue me if I ever talked about her.
I've stuck up for you for things that I shouldn't have. Well, that doesn't look good. For you to say sorry, random fact, Emily does not know that word. I don't think it's in her vocab. You? You? You're not afraid of me. There's nothing to be afraid of. You? Forgive too easily. What did I do to you? What did I do to you?
You're not afraid of me.
She would like do this thing where it was like vicious, vicious. I would say I'm leaving, and then she would become nice, and then it was like a constant cycle like this.
You're literally stabbing me, and I'm apologizing to you for getting blood on your floor. See, this is what I mean about being gaslit. You start to think, did it really happen? She couldn't keep her normal behavior for too long before her true self came out again. That's you.
When I went to go walk into the bathroom, she kicked me. She's tall. She's taller than I am. She's like 5'7". She kicked me really hard in my stomach. Really hard.
I want to dumb this down for dummies. I'm reacting to fucking trauma. I'm reacting to being gaslit. I'm finally like, this is what they call when a narcissist constantly pushes and pushes and pushes someone, and then they finally like respond. It makes them look like the fucking crazy one. It makes me look like I'm actually insane. But why am I responding like this? Look at everything Emily has done. That's why. The pain that she has caused inside of me is so fucking painful that I can't even begin to explain it. It is like physically painful. It's mentally, it's emotionally. I feel like I'm going to be experiencing this for the rest of my fucking life. Why does this have to happen? Why couldn't it just been a good relationship? Why couldn't it just been good?
Tommy would genuinely, like, she would become nicer, and like she was like crying one time that she didn't want me to leave and she wanted me to stay. So then when she was at work one time, I made her spaghetti dinner and like Caesar salad and like garlic bread. I wrote her a cute little note, and I said that and I told her, you know what, I decided to stay. And like she was so happy that she cried.
What do you want me to cook you next?
What do you always talk about, your chili or is it soup?
And I want to let everyone know that like the random like video recordings that she would do of me, she also did it to Megan while Megan was naked. And I've seen it with my own eyeballs. I've seen it with my own eyes. Emily would push and push and push Megan until Megan would react the same way I did. Emily literally faked nail marks in a different shirt on a different day, took the picture as if it was the same day. One time me and Emily got in such like a bad fight, and it was over something that she said to me, like something cruel. So we were in an argument, and she literally would use looking for rarity as like a control thing, as like power. In the same way that she would use Colleen as a weapon, she started to use rarity as one. And then one time I'm literally bawling my eyes out in the truck. And she literally said, if you don't shut up, it makes me want to punch your teeth down your throat, is what she said to me.
Yes, Detective Binky, I have been the bigger person, no pun intended. I've been the bigger person this whole time. I haven't said a word. I have not said a word. I have kept my mouth shut. I have not said a thing to even stand up for myself. I've protected her this whole time. I would become so hurt that I felt like I didn't even want to be on this earth anymore.
We'd get into arguments and she just wouldn't let anything go. That is fucking you. That is literally you to a T. But you're not afraid of me. That's just easy for you to say to look like the victim. I wonder fucking why.
My girlfriend behind my back was calling me Porcahontas.
You lied, you cheated, you betrayed, you lied, you did secret shit, you verbally abused me, etc., etc. The list literally, genuinely goes on. I have never been more gaslit and manipulated in my life. I have never felt the way that you made me feel in my life by anyone I have ever been in a relationship with, ever in my whole entire life. I've never experienced something like that, ever. And I told my mom exactly the way that you made me feel. And you know what she told me? Amberlynn, that's exactly how I felt with your dad. The shit that my dad would put my mom through was terrifying, and I had to witness that. The fact that you made me feel the way that my dad made my mom feel is fucking sick. I never knew how my dad made my mom internally feel until I told my mom the way you made me feel.
I'm telling you, there were times where she was so horrible, calling me fat ass. The first time she ever called me a fat ass was in Wisconsin, and I'm telling you, my jaw was on the floor. Called me bitch, cunt, fuck off, I hate you. Like, it's just the most awful thing. And I never, ever said those things to her. Oh, I would just constantly forgive her. I'm not accusing her of nothing. I know what happened. I was there. My favorite was when she told me she wants to knock my teeth down my throat. That was my favorite. While we were looking for Rarity in the truck. Yeah, I'll never forget that one. That one was to my face, so you wouldn't be able to see that in text, but yeah, that shut me up real quick. I'll tell you that. Why did you do what you did? Why? Everything. Why did you do everything that you did to me?
Like the betrayal, the gaslighting, the stonewalling, the cruelty, the fat jokes.
Oh, so I told her, I was like, please stop talking to her because that hurts. Like, that genuinely hurts me. I would never do that to you, ever. It's like betrayal after betrayal after betrayal.
But I'm tired of watching her dodge any real accountability. You are literally the queen of dodging accountability.
I don't deserve this. Like, genuinely. I don't.
You weren't silent. What? I was silent. Colleen was no longer your late fiance, but a weapon to hurt your current girlfriend. You are not afraid of me. How many times have I said that I'm afraid of you? You turned Colleen, this beautiful, caring, kind woman, into a weapon to hurt your current fucking girlfriend. That's when it became weird. That's when it became fucked. That's when it became awkward.
This is not fair. You've done this.
I expressed to her how I felt about something, and she gaslighted me. She made me feel like I didn't deserve to have feelings. That is what happened. So,
Oh, I don't want to talk about it. Just know that I saw things and read things and seen things that literally broke me and destroyed me, okay? Like, look at me. I look like a fucking freak. We get in a really fucking bad argument. She leaves through the glass door, leaves the door open. I did not notice because I did not go near the door.
she creates her own reality and expects everyone to play along. Are we describing you right now?
I did not go near the door. I was sitting at the kitchen table waiting for her to come home. And that's when I noticed the cold breeze. I noticed the cold breeze. And she booked it so fast she didn't even close the door.
That was me. That was me.
Oh my god, I've been taking the blame this whole fucking time. I've been taking the blame this whole fucking time. Because I constantly was sticking up for this fucking. But like, so many times I genuinely just wanted to just end it all. I was like, this is not like she would hurt me that bad.
You knew what triggered me. You never did a single thing to help calm me. Ever. You would purposely do things to trigger me. You have actually made me unhinged and psychotic. You have made me psychotic. Sometimes she's civil and sometimes she's absolutely unhinged. What makes me unhinged, Emily? What makes me unhinged. You. Your lies, your deceit, your betrayal, your cruel words, you're mean. You are mean-spirited. You're a mean person. It was psychotic behavior. You made me crazy, Emily. And I've never felt that way before. Ever. She did a lot of threatening anytime she felt like she didn't have control of the situation. I'm still worried she's going to totally lose it when she finds out I talked to you. Because you know me. You know when you do things that hurt me, I lose it. You are so unhinged.
All right, as promised, I think it's time for a little palate cleanser before we continue this video. I know it has been a particularly difficult one to watch, so I thought it would be nice to take you on a little adventure with Mini Waffles. She recently had a nail appointment, and on nice days, we'll leave early and have a little adventure together beforehand. I'll take her on a little walk around the neighborhood where her salon is, so, she can sniff all the new smells there. It's really cute, and it was a lovely day yesterday. I know you don't generally get to see her in her outside getup, so here's her little outfit, as I call it. Her harness is really great for long dogs, and it doesn't ride up behind her front legs. She also has a GPS collar that not only tracks her location, but also her steps and her sleep. If you're interested in looking it up, I'll put a link to it in the description down below. And no, this is not sponsored, but I do love this collar. It offers an extra level of just security and comfort for when we're on walks and also when we're out of town. Most of the time when I take Minnie on walks, I like to just let her go at her own pace, smell all the smells. I mean, the walk is for her, so why not, let her enjoy it, right? So Minnie has been going to the same little doggy salon for years at this point, and I take her every 3 or 4 weeks. She was a little scared at first, but, positive reinforcement and the kind man that does her nails have really made it way less scary for her. I mean, at first, I actually had to carry her through the doorway. So now look at her. Plus, it doesn't hurt that this guy absolutely loves Mini Waffles. It's so cute. You can hear him talking to her in the back. He'll tell her how much he loves her and what a good girl she is. A little positive reinforcement afterwards, and we are off. Thank you, Mini Waffles. You always come through for us. Let's wrap up this video now, shall we? I wanted to make this video because I think understanding this tactic can, help you recognize if and when it's being used. And thus, you can respond more effectively. I know from my own personal experience that before I was able to recognize DARVO, I would get caught up in the frustration and all the heightened emotions that it causes.
Emily replies, usually when she knows she's in the wrong but doesn't want to admit it, she's over the top and extra and dramatic about things, and she was definitely over the top. I'm dramatic and over the top when I know I'm right. Which I am right now.
I would totally lose focus and I'd start defending myself instead of realizing that was the point. The point was to deflect attention onto me and get me all worked up about it. But learning about this type of manipulation has really made it easier to stay grounded in what is true, to set boundaries with myself and other people. And it's helped me avoid getting drawn into this toxic game that's meant to deflect from the truth.
Like, something really just does not seem right.
All right, that brings me to today's reminder. Today's reminder: not everyone is the enemy, but Amber isn't the only one trying to live in an everlasting victimhood. So just stay alert. Today's shout out goes to the fine folks on screen right now. As always, I love reading through the comments, and I do really appreciate your kind words. I know that this channel isn't always as entertaining as the rest, as exemplified by today. So it makes me even more grateful for those of you that do stick around, for a lesson now and then. If you wouldn't mind helping me out with the algorithm, hit like, share, subscribe, or leave a comment down below. Or, even better, you can become a channel member. I've also got a few affiliate links in the description below. Like I mentioned, the GPS collar that Minnie has. And I do receive a small percentage of each sale, but it doesn't cost you anything to use the links. And when you do, it's a big help to a small channel like this one. So thank you in advance. I'll leave a couple of videos on screen if you want to continue watching. But otherwise, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Oh yeah, she's smashing YouTube. I am smashing YouTube. Thank you.